Okay, so we are back again with another video. It's an exciting day, a fresh start for us to learn and also be polymaths as we are. So without further to say, this is a new video. I don't know if I even charged my headset. I'm here to have fun and learn. Like, I've realized that I can't learn when I'm not having fun. So I don't know if it makes sense. Like, I really absorb when I am, having fun. But then when I'm too serious, I can't. So I'm a polymath, and this is how I've seen that I learn quite well and easily. So without further to say, we can just start.
Bazi. There's good and bad people everywhere on earth.
I mean, they use these kids to kill people too. I mean, you're gonna take a fucking five-year-old girl and send her back to that The kid doesn't even know that the bicycle tires have explosives in them. And it's for your fucking paycheck? Well, you. Babies are getting hung up, caught in razor wire. How the fuck do they sleep at night? I don't get it.
So I'm pulling like nice agency level study reports to Congress, and it's scaring the bejesus out of me. It's saying that there's systemic child sexual abuse in every province in Afghanistan. There's even a if your audience is familiar with Bazi.
Man, one thing I've realized is I think it's good that Americans bombed Afghanistan in a way, because like the thing that I hear from that place is not appealing at all. Right? Like, they have giants, they are molesting kids, they have really, really bad lifestyle. Man, I don't know if it was also because of the bombing or it happened after the bombing. I can't really tell. If you know, just put in the comment section below. Don't shoot me. But then I don't know if that's what caused them to be the way they are, or if they were like that before all those bombings and bombardment of their country happened by America. So I don't know, and I can't tell. But then let's watch the video. I think it's going to be really interesting for us to know what's really happening in that region. Let's get back to the video.
This dating back thousands of years in that region of dressing and this is somewhat graphic if there's children listening, but dressing up male children as females, and they dance and they sexually molest these children.
That's so bad.
And that was happening systemically. And to be honest, I had been trained like, hey, there's child molestation is part of the culture.
This is how it is there.
It is how it is there. And I'm not saying that's for all of Afghans. I've got one of my best friends is an Afghan, and like I've got so many friends that we've gotten out through the evacuation.
Okay, so I think, with everything, they might still be good people there. But then, the multitude are really corrupt. Yeah, in every society, in every organization, in every country, in every place, even in Sodom and Gomorrah. I was reading the Bible and I realized that Sodom and Gomorrah, they had, a couple of people. Lot's wife, Lot, who was, a righteous man. So I mean, in every place there's one righteous person, and so I wouldn't, put them all into one curriculum or one bracket or one species. I mean, there are levels to it. Some people are righteous and others aren't. So let's get back to the video.
It is. So there's good and bad people everywhere on earth. True. But in this particular location, there's some evil people. And one of the things that bothered me is that we were advised by State Department, like, oh, that's not illegal here. Like, it's just, got to deal with it. And for a decade, you have American service members who have put, some of these people in power and having to allow child rape on our installations and saying it's just part of their thing. Like, you can't do anything about it. And like, that mentality to me is just the antithesis of what we should be about as Americans, because that's wrong everywhere on the globe. and we came downrange to represent this uniform. And if we're enabling child rape on our bases, that's not a hard call to say, hey, this is wrong. We're going to lose moral high ground. How are we going to have the moral high ground to intervene as a country on good causes if we permit evil when we get there? And so in 2019, after that, however long we've been in Afghanistan, finally, through our influence, we changed the law in Afghanistan and it became illegal. And do you know how many people they prosecuted that year? 3.
Only 3?
And in our office, we did the Leahy vetting. So if there was allegations of gross violations of human rights, we would defund that or defund a percentage to the Afghan unit, right? And so we were getting these reports at the operational headquarters of Afghanistan from all over the country about some checkpoint that was killing another checkpoint over who would rape the T-boys that weekend. Like that's the type of conversations we're having in the office. So when we're talking about foreign girl, baby, right? And then researching these reports talking about that even some of the orphanages traffic children. And then I think Stephanie touched on this earlier. I did nothing dangerous in Afghanistan. The only thing that we did outside the wire was we would go outside of our compound and we would process claims. So if we had a ground movement and they damaged a jingle truck or they ran over some livestock, they would do a message in a bottle and throw it out the window to whoever the property they damaged. They wouldn't stop because you could be a target. And that message would say, go to this gate at RS headquarters at this time and on this day, and you can present a claim against the U.S. government and we'll reimburse you for the damage. And so we would process those claims. So we'd take our terps, we'd go outside, the checkpoint, and we would interact with local Afghans that had some sort of damage done by U.S. military operations. And so I was very, you can be very familiar with the culture and hey, this is a $20,000 cow. And I'm like, I don't think so. And so I had to negotiate down to a reasonable outcome. But one of the interesting things about that is you would interact with the local street children as you go outside the gate. And so the first time you go out, you're buying their little bracelet or whatever trinket they're selling, and you're trying to help them out as much as you can and be friendly. And so I distinctly remember this one boy. He was exactly my son's age. He was 7, and really handsome little boy, kind of like my kid, the different complexion, but just filthy dirty and in this environment. So this particular kid, he was asking for money, so I gave him $1, and I watched him go over to his owner and give him that dollar, the guy who owned the kids for begging. And I realized there is nothing you can do to help this kid. And so after that, we would just get him disposable food or stuff from back home, give him a lollipop or something, just something they could consume right then and no one could take from them, because if it was anything else, they would take it from them. And they would particularly get kids with scoliosis or kids that were more sympathetic to beg as we did that stuff. And so that's kind of the context of evaluating the safety concerns for in a tribal society.
I mean, they use these kids to kill people too. I mean, when I was there, they would fill up their bicycle tires with explosives and have them ride up to the gate or ride up to a convoy or ride up to personnel, and then the kid doesn't even know that the bicycle tires have explosives in them, and then they'd blow the kid up just to kill an American. So that's who we're dealing with here. That's
absolutely.
This is who you're in a custody battle with.
Absolutely. And that's
not to mention, there's videos of this stuff during the Afghanistan withdrawal when that fiasco happened. We had mothers who were trying to throw their babies over razor wire. Babies are getting hung up, caught in razor wire, dangling because they didn't make it over the razor wire. You have babies being killed right outside the walls of the airport where U.S. controls it. U.S. didn't do shit about it. You know what I mean? And these people are they're hanging on the side of an airplane as it's taking off. I mean, because of Taliban control, because they know what's coming, and no mother is going to try to throw her baby over razor wire. I mean, there was babies everywhere just hanging from razor wire that didn't make it over. I mean, that's who we're dealing with. That's who you're in. So I want everybody to know that's who you're in a custody battle with. That mega law firms are interfering with, who want your daughter to go back to that. That's who we're dealing with.
Well, I think they've done a very good job at twisting the narrative, because I think by and large, the larger American public, they're not aware of the atrocities, like what service members have seen on the ground, what life is like actually on the ground in Afghanistan. Most of the American public doesn't know that.
Yeah.
And so it sounds very judgmental, or it sounds like, oh, you can't say that, or no, that surely that can't be true. But the reality is there's a very big difference in the value of children. Like they have a very different perspective.
Well, I mean, but they do now, because that shit hit national news. I mean, Tyler Andrew Vargas painted a very good picture of what that looked like during the Afghan withdrawal, and the footage is everywhere. We'll roll it right here. I mean, just so everybody can see what that was like.
Well, what I would add though is that the attorneys that we've dealt with, they make it sound like what would you say, like we're almost like we're making it up.
Like it's a conspiracy.
Well, and I feel bad for them, even the opposing attorneys, because they have no idea the reality of what they're doing. Like, for a real little girl, like what's been such a struggle through all of
Who the fuck fights this shit? Like, who are these attorneys?
So
spineless.
It gets to a point in every situation or every narration, how nasty is this would even make you rethink everything. Like, look at the way Sean Ryan was like, who the fuck? Like, you could see he's in disbelief, man. Because really, even watching this video is so crazy. Like, what's happening in Afghanistan is so crazy. I mean, I think horrible things are happening all around the world, but then until it comes to your notice, that's when you understand how evil human beings can be, man. This is crazy. Okay, let's get back to the video.
Well, I think that they
like, seriously, dude, you're gonna take a fucking five-year-old girl and send her back to that shit for your fucking paycheck?
Well,
fuck you.
I think in their mind that they're gonna keep this. They're gonna get.
How
them
do
back.
they justify it to themselves?
Because I think they think that she's gonna stay here. They think that she's gonna have this nice little picket fence life with these Afghans here, and what they don't realize is these people are proxies, are puppets of the Taliban.
I think I have something to say again. So these people, when they don't die, like the kids, when they don't die, they grow up to become very horrible people who become emotionless because they don't understand why, it's okay for you to have a good life, right? They don't understand why it is okay for you not to go through all those hardships and those struggles. So they see it's normal. Like, when they're doing something horrible to you, they feel like it's normal. And those people, one way or the other, are not supposed to be part of society. It's crazy, but then they are destroyed and they don't have to be in society. But it's not their fault also. Sometimes they need help, and some people are psychopaths, sociopaths, and villains. I don't know, man. There are a lot of species of humans, and this is crazy. But then it's all because of what they've experienced in the past. So sometimes you just have to forgive them, and it all boils down to getting to know Christ. I mean, the Afghanistans, probably they are Muslims, but then in Christ, that's where there's true freedom. Like, everything is related to Christ when it comes to freedom, when it comes to you being lighter, and when it comes to forgiving. It's all related to Christ. So yeah, I mean, they become horrible people, and the only thing that can help them is Christ. Not even therapy. I don't think therapy can help, because some people can be hiding underneath their shadows and bringing out their smiley face. So it's quite crazy. But then, hey, the only thing I think or I know can help is the blood of Jesus and Jesus Christ. So let's get back to the video.
Afghanistan. Do you really think that they put Marines' families on national news and then don't know who these people are or how to touch them? Like, absolutely not. Like, that's why we're saying it's really a Taliban Alien Gonzalez situation, because she's not going to stay here in the United States if we lose custody of her, and these people do. They're going to put a gun to their family's head and make them go home. And then whatever the Taliban says is what's going to happen to her. And she's not going to go to college or marry who she wants or grow up to be who she wants to be. And, that is, I don't know.
If they don't kill her.
For my dead body. Like that is basically like we from day one we have said, based on everything in U.S. government possession, all of our intel, our $1 billion intelligence gathering apparatus in Afghanistan says X. We sent helicopters full of special operators to kill these terrorists, but the U.S. government can't figure out where she's from. Like, give me a break. Like you have this information. We've had it all along. And you've had people like us, just regular Americans at the ground level, saying, look at the information. Like if you watch this video of these Rangers in combat with these terrorists, like they're heroic. They're doing what we tasked them as American people to do: kick down doors and eliminate these terrorists from the face of the earth. And they were doing that. And I cannot express how much appreciation we have for that. Like, you're raised in America, you're patriotic, you care about service members, like, thank you for your service, that type of thing. But when you read what these guys have done, or you hear, like, when it gets out from behind, because there's a lot of non-disclosure agreements, there's a lot of stuff that you don't get to talk about, especially with the special mission units. And when you actually dive into that and you get to see some of these experiences that they've had, unbelievable, like heroic. It's humbling to be able to read some of this stuff and talk to these guys.
And so when did you? We got a little sidetracked there. Now I'm angry, but
So just
Attorneys,
imagine he
man.
was on the
Sorry.
battlefield, hearing something like this. I mean, he's going to have a death roll, like killing people. This is crazy.
I just cannot
I'm with you.
imagine what it's like on the others. How the fuck do they sleep at night? I just don't. I don't get it. But so at what point did you find out she's going to be in your care?
Okay, so probably fast forward a couple months. She's been under U.S. care at Bagram. Doctors and nurses love her, obviously, trying to make sure she's safe and recovering and all that. We're trying to get more information for decision makers. And then there was a real problem with classification. So we have some NATO folks who don't have a U.S. secret clearance. And we're working with NGOs and some folks at the embassy that it's not easy to share how much we know. And so at one point I sat through a meeting where they were going to use our general's influence to make the Afghans take her, like, end of story. Like, here, your problem, like kind of like an operational, like it's a distraction from operations, Afghan problem. Let's just make them take her. And so that was going to happen. And I was like, I went to my colonel. I was like, sir, I don't think I can sleep at night if we like close our eyes and say that she's not going to get, like, at best case scenario, she's going to die of neglect. Because, you're talking about Kabul, which is like Denver. It's a mile high city. It's fall, so it's going to be cold. There's no heat in the orphanages. There's no running water, electricity, and some of the, like, there's a few nice presentation facilities in the capital that they showed all the NGOs to get people to donate to the system. But in reality, in most places, there's nothing. There's very little infrastructure. There's no medical care. And this is a kid with a fractured skull. Like, holy cow.
Damn,
How do we
skull?
ignore, as Americans, like the big US, us, how do we ignore what's actually going to happen? And I have no problem with killing terrorists. Like, her parents died in combat with our
Probably he's
guys. No
referring to
problem
the
with that.
uniform.
But we're about protecting innocence.
Okay, so we've come to the end of the video, man. One thing is, when you listen to this American, war stories, they are really, really nice. Like, they've seen a lot, man. Someone will ask me, why don't you create videos about your country? I mean, my country, I think this is all fooling, and the leaders are all always fooling, like spending money, not doing what they're supposed to do, and crazy dramas. But then with America, man, it's like they are serious, man. They're serious. That's why I love to watch American, content, because they're serious. They know what they're about. But in Africa, I mean, I think I'll just be laughing and, all those, funny things. And, it's kind of crazy to hear the stories in Africa. Then I don't think I'm somebody who will want to, patronizing the African way of governance. So it's crazy. But then, hey, with the Americans, man, it's crazy. look at what they've experienced, right? They have the power to go to other regions and make something stop instantly. Even if it doesn't stop, they exert their authority at that place. And this is beautiful. I mean, you have to go for the big leagues and not thinking about relegation. You know, someone is going to tell me what I'm doing right now here is not from Africa, so it's not going to work. But then I am not supposed to focus on the fact that it's from Africa. I'm supposed to focus on the fact that the internet can go anywhere. Like it's the World Wide Web for a reason. So the fact that I am not in America and creating videos from America, that doesn't mean it's not going to be watched. I think this information can help somebody else, right? Can help somebody, can, you know, sync with somebody, right? Can relate, somebody can relate with what I share. And I mean, it's all for the greater good of society. It's all for the greater good of the internet. It's all for the greater good of YouTube. So yeah, and we've come to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also consider sharing this video, and I'll catch you in my next video. Adios amigos, bye.